Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me use this opportunity to welcome you to the first in the series of the lectures on library instruction program in Obafemi Awolowo University for the 2025-2026 session. Today, we are going to go through the first module, which is entitled the Library and Information Organization. However, before we proceed to looking at the slides, I would like to inform you that the program, popularly called Library 001, which is the code for the Library Instruction Program, is a compulsory elective for all freshers in Obafemi Awolowo University. This translates to the fact that even if it has no credit, no students of Obafemi Awolowo University can graduate without passing through this course and without passing it, as it were. So it's a specialized elective, and you are enjoined to take it seriously as much as possible. You also need to note that this course has been designed to impart information literacy skills to you so as to make you an independent researcher, which is a very, very serious component in your learning process in this university. And by the time you finish, you always be able to use information resources in any tertiary institution that you may find yourself in the nearest future. I also want to intimate you with the fact that about the features of assessment of this course. The course has about 4 segments that you need to go through. The first of them being the lecture. And so you are expected to record about or to earn 75% attendance in lectures. You also, at the right time, go through the test procedure. And before the test procedure, you are going to have what we call the library tours. This series of library tours will be divided into groups depending on your faculty or course of study. You suppose, and this one will take place in the Ezekiel Oluwasomi Library, which is the main university library organ in this university. The test and the exams will be rated 60 to 40 and totaling 100%, as it were. Having said that, I also want to inform you that the series of lectures will be probably complemented with a particular book that we may be recommending to you and which you may find anywhere or in the bookshop, titled The Library and the Information User. In this, you'll be able to complement whatever we might be discussing on this platform, and for which time limitation may not make the discussion exhaustive enough. Having said that, I want to proceed to take you through about 9 of our slides. 2 are already gone, 9 of our slides in a short while. And the topic before us is the library and the information user. So what is the learning objectives? What are the learning objectives of this course? At the end of this module, we should be able to define what a library is. You should be able to identify the objectives and uses of the library. You should be able to describe how a library, particularly Ezekiel Oluwasomi Library, Tertiary institutional libraries have similar features, but you need to understand your locale, that is the library that you are operating in. You need to understand the information resources there so as to be able to explore the avalanche of information resources provided for you, as it were, and apply the knowledge as desirable. You need to be able to explain how libraries operate and are organized. I also present before you the outline for Module 1 as follows. The introduction has featuring the definition of a library, the objectives of the library, research services provided by the university library, types of libraries, importance of a library of a university, organization of the HO library, that is the Zakolu Assembly Library, information organization in the library, which will also feature classification, print resources, electronic information resources, summary, self-assessment and questions, notable assignments, and references that may be useful to you. Note that libraries do not exist just for themselves, and they are established to service the particular information needs. And so being a university library, it is comprehensive enough to serve the information needs of not just your course, but that will make you a lifelong learner. So once again, you are welcome to this module. And this module gives you a detailed explanation of what a library is, types of libraries, importance of libraries in a university, organization of the library, and how information is organized in a library setting. So what shall be your take home? By the end of this lecture, before you start, you must look at this question and ask yourself within you, what should I learn about a library? I am afraid that in our terrain, most secondary schools do not even have libraries. And sometimes before students even enter tertiary institutions, some of them have not even sat within an organized library before. So we want to understand what a library and a tertiary institutional library is. How many types of libraries are you conversant with? Ask yourself, what are the similarities or the differences between those libraries that you are conversant with? How is a typical academic library organized? And how is information from books and journals, directories, etc. organized in the library? The library is different from a bookshop. And so information are organized in such a way that maybe that they will be interpretable for the potential user, which you are. How can books be retrieved from the library? Accessibility is a very germane issue. And so knowing your way through the library so that you will not be looking for paper in a textile shop. Definition of a library. There are 4-5 features presented here within the definition of a library. Commonly, we know that's a place where you sit and read. But then there are many things that you need to be conversant with to be able to make effective use of an average library and a tertiary institutional library, as it were. And so a library, for our definition today, is a collection of resources in a variety of formats. And it has to be organized by information professionals or other experts. What do they do? What is the essence of this organization? That leads to number 2, that the organization must provide, these professionals will provide convenient physical, digital, and bibliographic or intellectual access to the resources. So we have different types of formats in one. They are organized, and they must be organized physically to be convenient physically to sit and read. And look at also the features of resources there, which are digital, bibliographic, or to gain international access and offer, number 3, targeted services and programs. So the library is not just a place to sit down and read, it is also to offer targeted programs that may add value to your learning process. And a library must have with a mission of educating, informing, or entertaining a variety of audiences. And lastly, the goal of stimulating individual learning and to make you lifelong learners as it were. Objectives of the University Library, as presented: to conserve knowledge amassed from time to time. It might not be exhaustive within a particular library, but you know that we now have libraries without walls, that even these books are not available locally. There are ways of accessing them, and the library is the mechanism to make you have access. Before I proceed, I want you to sign in with this code, and that marks your attendance of this class. In uppercase, and that is capital letters, as I spell H U T U P. H U T U P. I want you to indicate whether you can hear me. H U T U P. That is the code, the sign-on code for this class. H U T U P. I proceed. The library conserves knowledge. The library, secondly, disseminates knowledge through teaching, learning, and publications. And one of the ways we disseminate knowledge is to impart information literacy, soft skills, hands-on experience, teaching you how you are going to access information and make use of information appropriately. Another objective is extension of the bounds of knowledge through research work by lecturers and other researchers. The library also enables the faculty and students to achieve highest academic honor and lifetime good reading. I want to just encourage you to say that the library and library services are essential variables in your learning process. And so the earlier you key into it, even if you are a C student, then you are going for an A. And if you are a D, you can be an average student if you make the library a variable in your learning process. Another objective is establishing information centers, like we have faculty libraries or other extension services, to render services and advisory services to potential users. And it also helps, the library also is involved in the acquisition and processing of resources by making it also available to users. Do not forget, your sign-in code is HUTUP. That code records your attendance in this class. These are services provided by library and university library. The following also is a brief enumeration of university library services to users. We offer bibliography services, and in doing this is to teach you the technical ways of navigating yourself through the information resources available in the library. There are ways of looking for it. There are ways of answering questions. There are types of resources that you will need to deploy. This is what we call bibliographic services. Do not forget to expatiate on this is to have access to the references in this module, as well as the library and information users, which we serve almost as a Bible of this course. The library also offers literature services. That is teaching you how to get the exact relevant materials for your assignment, for a project, for your thesis, for your research, for your writing or exploration, as it were. We offer current awareness services, telling you what is new in your field, telling you where you can get these resources. The library offers selective dissemination of information, XDI, and by this, we tailor information to suit your purpose. We tailor, as an agri student, materials are tailored towards servicing you as different from that which will service somebody from the Faculty of Health Sciences. The library is involved in information sharing, document delivery services. That is to say that there are times materials might not be available. We seek for this, and by extension, we call this interlibrary loan, and we help you. We will not stop at any end to get materials for you as long as we know where they are domiciled. The library offers also reference and information services, and this is telling you again where you get. For instance, if you enter a library, we want to know the birthday of Obafemi Awolowo. How would you do this? Reference services are offered to teach you the type of resources that will answer such queries. You want to navigate yourself within or outside the library or any tertiary institution. We offer reference services, and we do a kind of research clinic to give you access to relevant and information required. Translation services are also, or maybe also, offered in the library. And interlibrary loan services is akin to the information sharing and document delivery services. Types of libraries. There are 4 distinct types of libraries. The public library, number 1, is those one established by government and are usually placed probably in the city centers. It can service local governments. It can service regional or any geographic location to make information available to the citizens. So one can alternatively describe it as a library or libraries established to furnish or to educate the citizenry, because they're established by government and they serve public uses. And resources they are on can also educate people from primary even to tertiary levels. We have the special research libraries. As the name indicates, the service special libraries, institutes, and research libraries. And for instance, the library of Obafemi Awolowo is different from a special library. While that is an example of academic library, special libraries will be established by, let's say, an agricultural institute. Let's say IAR&T. IAR&T will have a specialized library, which is an institute of agriculture, whereas we offer a multidisciplinary academic library as academic libraries. School libraries are established to service elementary schools up to secondary library and secondary level. And academic libraries service essentially universities, because they offer multidisciplinary. The scope of what we do is wider than what we can have in other types of libraries. Before I go to this almost last slide, I would like also to inform you that you are fortunate in the sense to make it dynamic, that you will also be engaged by 2 other lecturers who will take over from me as I finish this slide. So for the 11th slide, which is telling us about the importance of the library in a university. There is a balance. Show me your library, and I will tell you the kind of educational institution that you have. And so you need from the beginning to befriend library and library services and library personnel so as for you to be able to have a more dynamic experience in this learning space. And so the library is important in the universities in the following ways. Not exhaustive, but let's just highlight some of them. It offers a quiet place of study, which is the most common thing that you, away from the hustling and bustle of the classroom or from the noisy areas of the hostels, you have a quiet place to sit and do. So you have access to electronic and ICT resources, and the students and lecturers are like use libraries to research their topics, to write their papers, write their thesis, and so on and so forth. And lastly, libraries offer other services to students, and such include how-to guides on writing papers, on locating materials, on even probably joining your own knowledge and exploring the experiences that you may have from other categories of people. So lastly, libraries also enables you to conduct your research. You also have digitized libraries from around the world, and the library is a very potent environment for you to be able to explore these resources. So while I will soon call on the next lecturer. Do not forget to sign in. HUTUP. I want to believe that you got it right. HUTUP. Yes. You can see it's. Thank you very much. Once again, for the first time, if I missed it, my name is Dr. Olukemi Tadeo. I hope you had a very lovely learning experience.
Yes. Thank you very much, Ma. The person that ushered you into LIB 001 just now is the university, the librarian. And you are so fortunate because you have heard from from the person that really is at the top of the library. So we will continue from where she stopped. And we are going into organization of Ezekiah Oluwasanmi Library. The Ezekiah Oluwasanmi Library is the main hub of library of research resources in the institution. And at the top, we have the university librarian, who fortunately has just given you some tips about the library. And we also have the departmental heads being headed by the deputy university librarians. We have followed by the sectional heads. They head the units in the library. And we also have the librarians and other supportive staff, like the library officers, the administrative staffs, the secretaries, the typists, the library assistants, and among others. So the library presently has 5 departments, namely, we have the collection development, we have the reader services, we have the technical services, ICT, library automation, research development. When you say the collection development, which means all the resources that you need to carry out your research, the people that work on them and make them available. Then we have the reader services. These are the people that attend to the users. Those are the people you see that attend to the needs of people that come to the library. Then we have the technical services. Those are at the back end, working, giving, assigning the numbers and some other things, working technically to ensure that you are satisfied. Then we have the ICT library or library automation. These are the people that, this is the section where we are trying to move from hybrid to digital, where we move from the manual to the digital. So whatever you can see either through the shelf or something, you can also get them online. That's where they work on them. And then the research development, that's where you are being, that's the section or the department where you are helped to improve your work, your academic work. Yeah. Then we move on to, still continues with organization of the Ezekiah Oluwatomi Library. We have collection development. There are two sections under the department. We have serials. When you say serial, something that is produced periodically. I mean, and so the periodical, it could be the newspaper, which is daily. It could be the magazines or the journals. Anything produced periodically, that is where they are being kept for the users. Then we have others. These are the people, this is the section where materials are gotten, where they are acquired. They will be the one, they are the one that sort out, they will search for. When you give your the request, that is where they will be acquired. And I would like to tell you that if you have a textbook that is very paramount to your study and you feel the library should have it, you can make such requests known at the others. Once you enter the library, the porters will direct you to other section where you can make such, where you can do the requisition. You can come over there. Then we have the reader services. Number one there is circulation. Circulation is where you can borrow books, where you can take books to read, and after reading for the specified period, if you are undergraduate, you will take it for 2 weeks, and you can take 6 books at a time, and you return. If you don't return, let me tell you, if you don't return, there are fines. You could, if you do not know that you should return, the fine could accumulate to hundreds of thousands. So it is better you borrow and you return immediately. Yeah, so far the 2 weeks has not gone, so you should try to return the books that you take. Then we have the reference section. Reference at this time, the materials there are materials that are not meant to be read from cover to cover, just for you to consult and you return immediately. You cannot borrow the books there. And again, that is where LIB 001 is being coordinated. So if you have issue, you have queries, you go there, you will be attended to. And we have the faculty libraries. Every faculty in OAU, except for space, for the Faculty of Arts, have faculty library. And you can also go there and read. And the books in the faculty libraries cannot be borrowed too. You can only use them there and return. And the worst, you can do the photocopies of whatever material you think you need to go and still use at home. So we also have technical services. Technical services, under there we have cataloging, reprography, and bindery. Cataloging assigns numbers that we use to search for books on the shelf. And when we get there, we will throw more light on that. Then reprography, that is where we do photocopies. And bindery, that is where books tattered or something can be bound. And if you also have your project or some other work, you can also take it there for them to bind. They are professionals and they have been there for long, so they know it well and they are doing it well. ICT, under ICT, we have software and databases management, we have hardware and network management, we have e-libraries. Here, I will tell you that we have 3 strong, powerful, efficient e-libraries with 50 systems each. And if you even have your own system, you can come there, they will give you the password for a token of 100 naira for 3 hours. You can see that it's too cheap, ridiculously cheap. So we also have the multimedia. In the multimedia, we have the some things that you think have gone into extinction, but we have them like the microchips, that thing that they used to play the turntable, that they used to play the record in those days. We still have them in HOL, and they are even improved upon now, not those old ones, and they are functioning well. So we also have research development. We have Africana. Africana have the books that are written by Africans on Africa. So if you are looking for the books on Chinua Achebe, Ogbojuode, they are found there. Then we have the university archives. The university archives, all the materials you think you can never get again, when you get there, you will see them. Then the government documents, all the documents written by organization, by the government, like the books that you can find on Osun State, or the parastatals, they are found in government documents. We have research commons. This is purely for those that want to do private study, and you will be able to sit and do your work as it pleases you. Then we have OAU publications. Every publication that emanates from OAU are there. The thesis, the projects, and some other materials, they are there. Then conservation units. Conservation units. And now we go to the organogram of HOL, Ezekiel Oluwasanmi Library. We have the library administration on top, public services, collection services, information technology, acquisitions, cataloging, preservation, serials. I'm going through like that because I've already explained them in the previous the slides that I've said before. Then we have information organization in the library. Information organization. You will discover that even you yourself, you have the places you put your shoes, you put your clothes, you put your scarves. You don't just model everything together. The same thing happens in the library. We have to organize things so that we be able to easily get at them, to retrieve them. So information organization simply refers to the process of arranging information items or sources into a system so that the information sources or items can be easily identified and retrieved. And the most common way of arranging information items or sources in the library is by classification. You see, like I said, if your shoes, be on this shelf. If your shirt, be here. If your scarves, be here. Whatever. So there is a way we also arrange the books, and that is by classification. And what is classification? It is the orderly arrangement of things or items in classes according to common characteristics. And the information sources or items in the library are arranged by subject according to a particular subject classification scheme. The Library of Congress classification scheme is what we use. And there are so many schemes that we have. The first one here is Dewey Decimal Classification Scheme. This one cannot be used in an institution like ours because of the collection that we have. Dewey takes care of only the numbers. Universal Decimal Classification Scheme is also small, and the biggest of them all is Library of Congress Classification Scheme. The scheme makes use of alphanumeric. What do I mean by that? Alphabetics and numbers. So, and the subject classification scheme in use at the HOL is the Library of Congress Classification Scheme, LCC. It is alphanumeric, as I've said, like the example that you can see, that Q is for sciences, R for the medicine. And each of the main subject areas or the classes is divided or subdivided to that allowances, so that allowances are made for as many details as possible. So one of the most important features of the LCC scheme is a symbol called classification number or class mark. So when you see a class mark, it has number and alphabet. It has number and alphabet. So it is written on the spine of the book. And if you are, by the time you come for tour, you will see that it is also on the card. And it is the one on the card that you will copy to the reading room to retrieve the book that you want to use. So the class mark, the core mark, is very important in retrieving materials in the library. And the following are the main classes of the Library of Congress Classification Scheme. A there stands for general works. Let me explain further. This alphabet represents some subjects. And because of the subject that they stand for, those are the books for the discipline. And it is only in that, like the B that is for the philosophy, psychology, and the religion. All books in the library on philosophy, psychology, and religion will bear B as their alphabet. The numbers will follow. Then we also have auxiliary sciences of history, that is C. D, world history and history of Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, New Zealand. And we have E for history of Americas, F for geography. By now you should know your discipline. F for geography, anthropology, recreation. G for social sciences, whether you are in geography, whether you are in economics, and any social science. Although some of them have their own special code. H for the political science. K for law. K is for law, not I. K is for law, not I. And L for education, not J. L is for education. For your second attendance, please take it. For the second attendance, this is the code. MZ9CJ. I will take it again. MZ9CJ. That's the second code for attendance. Second code for attendance. So for the music, the alphabet for it under LCC is M. For fine arts, we have N. For language and literature, we have P. For science, we have Q, as I've said earlier. For the medicine, we have R. For agriculture, we have S. Technology, T. Military science, U. Naval science, V. And bibliography, library science, information resources, we have Z. So Ezekiah Oluwasanmi Library holds over 750,000 volumes of textbooks. These books are housed in the various reading rooms where they are shelved according to Library of Congress classification scheme. And the South Wing houses books in class A to J. And the North Wing houses books in classes K to Z. K is no longer in the library. K is in law library because they have their own standalone the building now. So they are not inside the library again. Then we have the library collections that are print and non-print. Print resources, number one there is Africana Special Collection. In Africana, I've said that there are books written by Africans on Africa. And I gave examples of Ogboju Ode and Chinua Achebe. Then number two, we have OAU publications. This houses staff publications and theses submitted for higher degrees of the university, and occasionally those of other universities. If you're looking for the program of convocation, of matriculation, they are also there. and all the when they are doing all the engagements in the institutions. So far books are produced, they are found in OAU publications. And we have document collection, which includes official publications of the federal government of Nigeria, old regional governments, the present state governments, and the federal capital territory. They also include the publications of other African governments and many other international agencies, such as the World Fertility Survey, the, the WHO, and so on and so forth. And we also have reference collections, which includes dictionaries, encyclopedia, and like I explained earlier, that there are books that are meant to be consulted, not to be read from cover to cover. If you look at how they are, the dictionaries, encyclopedia, handbooks, directories, atlases, calendars, they are shelved in the reference room. And also the newspaper clippings and the vertical file of the reprints. So in addition, we also have indexes, which provide the periodical articles on Nigeria and African literature. So we have print resources. Number 5 of the print resources now, we have serials collection, like I said earlier, books that are produced periodically, and they are also displayed there. We also have the recent back files and the older back files. What do I mean by the recent back files? Those that are 10 years old, they are put together and kept somewhere. And those that are above 10 years old, they are the old back files. So we also keep them. We also have the recent accessions, newly acquired books. They are displayed, and with time, you begin to see them on ePortal so that you will know what is new in HOL. And these books will not be borrowed while on display until they get to the reading room where you can take them. Then, conservation room collection. This conservation is where old newspapers are kept. The newspapers from inception till now, they are kept there, but the new ones are still circulating, going around for people to read. But if you want the hard copy of those newspapers of those days, they are found there. And after the print, we have the non-print materials, electronic information resources in the library. We have database. We subscribe to a number of them, and they provide access to books. So we agree that when you Google and they tell you, and you see the materials, they will tell you to go and pay, or they will show you only abstracts. That's the advantage of e-resources in the library, because when you come, you can download. If you come in through our subscribe database, you can download the old work and make use of them for academic things. So it is very important that you either be on IP address of OAU or that of HOL, or you are using our password so that you can have access to 100% material online. And we have ebooks and e-journals. Some of the online databases available through HOL are the following. We have EBSCOs for all disciplines, HSTOC for medical lectures. We have ProQuest. We have JSTOC for all disciplines too. We have the National Virtual Library of Nigeria. We have Research for Life, which entails Agora, Inari, Oare, RD, and Gwali. We also have the Federalist, US Constitution. We also have Aluka, Springer Nature, Legopedia, Hen Online, Law Pavilion, Legopedia, Market Line, and so on and so forth. Now, we also have other essential academic links for all disciplines. We have the directory of open access George. We have free full text, we have free articles, Biomed Central, free medical journals, free books for doctors, and so on and so forth. We also have some other free online e-books, BC Campus, Bookboon, Digital Book Index, Directory of Open Access Books, and so on and so forth. All the databases that we subscribe to as a library have some strings attached to them. And that is what I said earlier, that you are either on IP address of OAU or HOL, or you have the password. Some of them have the password before you can gain access to it. Then we also have e-library. I've said it before that we have e-libraries that has 150 computers, and we have Wi-Fi. Our Wi-Fi is very fast and it's very good too. You can come over there and make use of it. Then we have library websites, which is the address that is displayed here, HO Library, holibrary.oauife.edu.ng. So, and that we give you the link to OPAC, Online Public Access Catalog, and so other databases that you may need. Then we also have Online Public Access Catalog. If you don't have a system, there are some systems at the circulation area there where you can make use of OPAC. Instead of you to do it manually to search for the materials that we have in HOL, you can check online. And you can even check on your phone whether we have the materials you are coming to borrow or not, or you are coming to consult or not, through OPAC, opac.oauife.edu.ng. So we also have number 6, OAU Space. That's our institutional repository. The institutional repository, OAU Space. And all the publications of staff, all their journals are uploaded there. And inaugural lectures, they are also there. And we also have the thesis in OAU Space, our institutional repository. And before we conclude, take the third code. The third code, Z52JU. Z52JU. And for the last time, Z52JU. Now, we have other materials in the library. We have audiovisual materials. Audiovisual material. When I say audiovisual, which means audio and visual. You can see, you can hear. There are some that are ordinary audio. There are some that are ordinary visual. But all of them are available in the library. We have the slide reader, the microfilm. We have the digital, the projector, and all others. We have the camera. We have the television, and so on and so forth. And we also have customary court records. In the whole of Southwest, all the court, all the judgments of court in the Southwest from 1900 from the record till 1960, they are housed in OAU. They are housed in OAU, and you can consult them. As students, you can consult them. And people that do not know, you can disseminate this information to them so that they can know that such things are available in OAU, in Ezekiah Oluwasanmi Library. So we also, some of the services that are also carried out in HOL include reprography or photocopying services. Like I said earlier when I was talking about the technical section, but we do photocopy in the library. And we also have the binary services in the library, translation services. We have the current awareness services, interlibrary loan services, and indexing services, and among others. So we are moving towards the end gradually. This lecture is only for an hour, and you know that we cannot capture all of the hours at a time. We cannot capture everything that you need to know within the 1 hour for a module. So I will refer you to a textbook that will be of interest to you in this course as you go on. And you know that your exam comes up in second semester and it is OBJ. You will agree with me that OBJ covers more ground. But if it were to be another type of exam, you may not be able to cover as much. But being OBJ, it will cover much ground, which means you will need to read very well. And the title of the book is The Library and Information User. You can get them to buy at the bookshop. When you get there, they will tell you the price. You will get it to buy at the bookshop. This is the book. So it will help you a lot. All that we have to, it is elaborate there, well explained. This one is just to whet your appetite so that when you get the book, you'll be able to understand more. Yes. In this module, we have been able to tell you the definition of the library and the types of the library, which are public library, research library,
Ensure that you submit the codes. Submit the codes. So far, you have listened to the university librarian and the acquisition librarian in Ezekiel Oluwasemi Library. And you can remember that the university librarian made mention of the grading system, that 60 marks are attached to examination, while assessment is 40 marks. And looking at the breakdown, there's going to be a talk and assignments and probably a test. That means in due course, you will need to visit the library. There will be a grouping based on your discipline. You will have a group with a lecturer attached to that group. So it is under that lecturer that are going to have the library tour and every other thing that will make up the CA. Make sure you visit the reference section of the library. As we conclude the class, I want you to know that this course is being coordinated at the reference section of the library. So you are speaking, or the course coordinator is speaking with you in person of Dr. Bamishe OF. So in case you have any question or any inquiry, do feel free to come to the reference section to get your question answered. Thank you very much for listening. We are meeting again the same time, 4 to 5 p.m. on Wednesday next week for the continuation of the class. Thank you very much.